Hey folks, Dale Davidson here, Davidson Law Offices, here with another great video talking about long-term care today, and really what is the greatest threat to the farms here in America. Now, I think we can all agree that we live in the greatest country in the world, and this country was built by family farmers who shed their blood, their tears, their sweat, all of that to feed not only us, but they also feed a lot of the world. So without our farmers, we'd be dependent upon foreign imports just like we are with our gas and oil. We've got a lot of pride in our family farms, and they love the land, and their land is sacred to them. And so the issue that we've got is we've got a lot of family farms, and we've got a lot of wealth in those family farms, but when it comes to hardships like long-term care, because we're all getting older, so how do we pay for that if all of our wealth is tied up in our family farms? The issue is, if you have to have long-term care, if you don't have the cash or you don't have long-term care insurance, but you've got that asset, how are you going to pay for that long-term care? So before I get into some techniques and everything, let me just give you some statistics. So the U.S. Department of Agriculture has determined that our family farmers make very little money. So according to the government statistics, here in Brooks County, Colquitt County, Decatur County, Grady, Mitchell, Thomas County, Georgia's farmers' income decreased about 5%. So how does a family, have the resources, the cash reserves, or whatever it may be, to pay the enormous care for long term? Now recall, according to the Genworth survey, the average cost of nursing home care here in Georgia is about $8,300 a month. $8,300 a month. That's the long-term care for a nursing home, skilled. Now, if you have to go into a nursing home, but your spouse is still at home, you still have those expenses. So you've basically doubled or even tripled your expenses if somebody has to go into a nursing home. And that's just financial cost, not talking about the emotional tolls and everything. What does our government do about it? Well, they put more burdens on us. They put more burdens on our farmers. One of the biggest burdens that we're facing as trying to help people plan for their long-term care is this 5-year look-back rule. So what it says is that you can't give away your assets and then qualify for benefits. We're going to look back 5 years to see what you've given away, and if you've given away, we're going to deem you ineligible for a period of time. That's what we do. We help people get qualified. So let's get into the eligibility a little bit as it relates to farmers. Now, it's true that a homestead where you live is an exempt asset for Medicaid eligibility. And that's okay so long as your farm is and the house is combined. But what happens if you have a road splitting your farm, or you have 300 acres over here, 100 acres over there, whatever it may be? So you've got different tracts around. Your tracts are not all contiguous, not all together. All right? So what happens is that extra acreage makes you ineligible. But if your farm and your house are together, then we've got a good exempt asset there. That's all well and good, but you still have the upkeep, maintenance, utilities, taxes, insurance, all of that with respect to your house. You may be in a nursing home, so you still have those expenses. For Medicaid eligibility, it's exempt, but it's not exempt from the Medicaid lien. Now, the Medicaid lien says that if you are receiving Medicaid benefits from the state of Georgia or state of Florida, wherever it may be, that to the extent they paid benefits, they're going to place a lien against your assets when you pass on. This is not necessarily true if you have a spouse. That's a different rule. So if you've got a lien that's pending out there, how are you going to protect your homestead? So we've got a lot of these, and traditionally the states have not been enforcing that, but with the economy the way it is, the governments the way they are, their ferocious appetite to spend our tax dollars on just baloney, they need to find those assets out there, convert them to cash so they can give away our money. All right? So we've got the Medicaid lien, which is a big problem for your residents. Let's bring that into the context of a farm. If the average family farm in Georgia is about 235 acres, and if the average sale price is $3,700 per acre, and these are all from statistics from the U.S. Department of Agriculture and all Georgia Farm Bureau and all that. Okay, so the average total sales price of a farm is about $870,000. Now, if you have to go into a nursing home, clearly that $870,000 of asset is above the limit. If you have a spouse, the spousal limit is $135,400. So how do you get around this extra value here? Simple. Give us a call, okay? Our telephone number is 229-226-8183. We do this every single day. We deal with a whole lot of farmers around here in Southwest Georgia and North Florida, and we help them protect and preserve their farms so that they can qualify for Medicaid or skilled nursing care, but still maintain their family farm, still keep that pride that they can pass that farm along to their children. So let's just assume, I know we don't like to assume anything, but let's just say that you just didn't do anything, okay? And so now Medicaid has got a lien against the family farm. So how, as an heir, how are you going to pay back that Medicaid lien? I guess from savings? From a loan against the property? Of course, nowadays you get a loan, you're going to pay a higher interest rate. Are you going to be forced to sell all or part of the family farm? Remember, the family farm, I mean, that's sacred land, okay? It's been in your family for generations. So how are you going to save the family farm? How are you going to save the family farm, but then still pay back the state of Georgia? Data, again, we got data again, from the Georgia Statistics System suggests that the number of farms here in Southwest Georgia have decreased almost 27% since 2002. And the estimated fair market value, again, we talked about is $3,700 per acre. Family farms are already being abandoned and sold at an alarming rate, and the values are low. And now we've got higher interest rates, higher healthcare costs. What are you to do? Again, simple solution, give us a call. Give us a call. So, as it stands now, with impending new and proposed regulations, we're going to lose more of our family farms. It's unfortunate. So I encourage everyone to proactively plan for long-term care. Not only farmers, but everybody out there. The earlier you start, the better your chances are and the more we can do for you. So if you start to proactively plan, then we can better achieve your goals. If it's to save the family farm, we can do that. If it's to save the residents, we can do that. Whatever it may be, we can help you save those assets. So let me give you an illustration of proactive planning versus crisis in farming terms. So let's say that I'm a soybean farmer. I don't want to plant too late, my crop too late. Why? Well, if I plant my soybeans too late, they're not going to get enough sun, right? If I plant my soybeans late, may not get enough water. But mostly if I plant my soybeans too late, then they're not going to produce the pods that we need, okay? So the earlier I plant, the more sunlight I get, the more water I get, and the more yield I'll have out of my crop. Okay? Same way with proactively planning for your long-term care. The earlier you plan, the more time at which we can fully analyze and discuss and look at your assets and suggest different techniques to help preserve and protect your assets for your long-term care. The earlier we plan, the more techniques there are available to us to help you meet your goals of asset protection. So any plan requires time in which for it to kind of come together. It's like cooking in a slow pot. Okay, let's put the plan together and then let it cook. Okay, so the longer we have, the longer it can cook, the better the plan. Proactive long-term care planning versus crisis planning is more cost effective because it's cheaper. We have more time to do what we need to do. We have more techniques, and we're just not under a time crunch because haste makes waste, and we don't want to waste anything. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. I know we talked a lot about farming, but it has a lot of implications to everybody out there who's looking to preserve and protect their assets for their future long-term care. As always, if you have any questions regarding this video, leave a comment below. Give us a call at 229-226-8183. It's a good day to have a good day. Y'all go out there and have a good day. Until next time, be blessed.